So Doom is something we have been talking about a lot, especially if you sit there and you watch anything he does. Absolutely loves Doom. And if you really watch a lot of our stuff, you know one of our favorite actors is Michael Fassbender.
I mean, he stood out even in Dark Phoenix when everything literally around him is crumbling, so give him credit where it's due, folks.
Yeah. And so there's now rumors that we could potentially have him be Doom.
So, I come at this with two angles. One, I love Michael Fassbender for what he did for Magneto.
Yes.
Because he was really good. Specifically in First Class, that was like his really big show. Like, he's really solid in that. As the movies went on, the scripts got worse. So, it suffers. But he still gave it his all, just like McAvoy did. Just like most of them tried. Not you, Jennifer Lawrence. So, most of them tried. But Dr. Doom is an interesting choice if this was to go to him.
Yeah, well, because if you also think about it, he did amazing with the Alien film that he was in. I can't remember Prometheus, sorry.
No, he was in Alien Covenant as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see why you blanked it out, though. Oh.
So, he did a phenomenal job being a robotic person in that. So, he does have range. He can sit there and be somebody who's a robot or be somebody who's had been tortured his entire life. So I can definitely see him being Doom, especially if they're going to go not his super young route, but him potentially trying to be the ruler of Latveria.
And again, even if they go super young, CG now. Disney invented it, and they can afford that now. They could do it the entire movie to Samuel Jackson. So
that is true.
And that was on a cheaper end. So this could be something that feasibly you look at. And what makes me believe this rumor a little bit more is inheriting all of Fox. They have to pay out those contracts.
Yep.
Fassbender and them just signed new contracts. So instead of dishing out, I'm going to say maybe $5 million for Fassbender, $10 million maybe. Who knows how big of a contract Kimber gave him since it was like a $300 million movie.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay him out $10 million to have him not do anything and get royalties for the rest of his life like Marlon Wayans for Robin? Or are you going to go, well, you can't be Magneto, but how about we roll this into a Doctor Doom role for 3 films?
Yeah.
Like, that's a better get than having to go out there and renegotiate something and try to play with that. So I could believe this because they are running out of actors in Hollywood that need to be in these movies. Because it's like, all right, you've had 23 of them. You're running out of names now. You know?
Especially like, why wouldn't you get people that you haven't been able to get before because they've been either constantly filming or under Fox's stuff. So you're kind of like, I don't want to be grabbing out of somebody else's cookie bowl.
Because there's already the association. And yes, that was a thing with Chris Evans, but they addressed that and they were like, no, nobody saw those movies or cares anymore. So it is true. It is true. And those movies were over. So he's a good get because he has a good PR behind him as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's not really negative in the spotlight. There's no bad history with him. Like, he's generally the type of actor that Marvel likes.
Oh, yeah.
And again, that makes sense to me. So I think he would be a good pick, honestly, in my opinion. But then again, it's coming from a fanboy opinion, so it doesn't really matter.
That is true, but I really can definitely see him because we've had 2 unfortunate adaptations of Doom before. None of them doing his actual correct story of Latveria or his mother or anything like that.
Nothing.
So at least when it comes to Michael Fassbender, he has had a role that he's had to sit there and just kind of...
Yeah.
And, like, just be able to pretend that he's able to do something.
And also lead people, like mutants. Like, he gave a couple good speeches in these films. You're like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, you could, you convert those to Doom. Makes sense. And he brings a presence with him on screen when he's there. You're like, I can believe this dude and what he's saying. Again, you need that for Doctor Doom. So...
Yeah, I could see it.
I could see it, definitely.
I would actually very much prefer it, especially because he is an older actor. I'm not saying he's old, but he is a older, more senior kind of actor. And he will be able to still, though, play this role out. And say if they sit there and they're like, okay, we're going to sign you for 3 movies. 2 of them being Doom, 1 of them being a Fantastic Four film when you actually finally go and meet them, or 1 Doom and 2 Fantastic Fours, and then be like, you know what? You like the role? You're having fun with this role? Let's make that even bigger. So now we're going to have you as a potential massive villain in Avengers and things like that.
And again, Doom has a mask on once his face gets scarred and he doesn't want people seeing it.
Yep.
So you can have stand-ins like Sean Gunn is for Rocket Raccoon. They just bring in Bradley Cooper for a weekend and he voices it over.
Yep.
So if you really need it, Fassbender, you can sign him later on once he's done. Bring him to VO and bring him to when he takes his mask off, but the rest can be somebody else. We saw this with the Red Skull too in Infinity War and Endgame. That wasn't Hugo Weaving, but you wouldn't know.
Totally.
So, yeah, I support this. If this happens, I'm game. This is a good choice.
And then that means we're getting Doom that much sooner because they have the lead actor, which is typically one of the harder roles to be able to cast. You already have him. He already has a huge catalog of people underneath that he's worked with before that you can see how his chemistry is going to be. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of see, I want this finalized, and then be able to see from him what we're able to potentially get further down the road for it.
Exactly. So you guys, let us know your thoughts on the former Magneto playing the future Doom if it happens.
And he won't have the magnet powers as he did in the Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, I brought that up. Bad taste in my mouth, too.
I don't remember his powers in the Fan 4 stick. I just remember him blowing up someone's head.
No, he was a garbage bag.
I don't know.